Afternoon, Charles Moscowitz. My guest is Gretchen Smith, and Gretchen is with Code of Vets. They are addressing issues with regard to veterans, particularly at this very traumatic time of pandemic. Gretchen, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having me, Charles. Charles, it's such a pleasure to be able to share our mission.
Well, let's get right to that. Talk about your mission in a nutshell. What is it that Code of Vets is meant to address?
We are a 501c3 veteran nonprofit. We operate purely on social media platforms to address veterans issues. We assist veterans in crisis and need throughout the nation in every state of our country. We do it every day, all day. There is no paychecks with Code of Vets. We are all a team of volunteers out here specifically to raise awareness about veterans. And we do that by taking individual veterans' journeys and their needs, and we share them on platforms to raise funds for them or whatever it looks like for that particular veteran. And we take care of it in an incredibly short period of time. And the American people are the ones who are given this the ability to do that. If they didn't share the mission, we would not be successful. But oh my gosh, Charles, we have caught on fire. We are assisting veterans all over the place, and the coronavirus just has amplified what we're doing. We are inundated with veterans requesting assistance.
What specifically are veterans dealing with right now with regard to handling the coronavirus?
Well, veterans, a lot of our veterans have PTSD, TBI, other emotional, mental issues going on from combat, from service. And we are finding that the coronavirus is just adding more to their plate, and it's almost too much. So I have been interacting with veterans all morning this morning. They're DMing me their issues. I have one particular veteran who's retired Navy, a Navy doc. Mm-hmm. And he told me he's in danger of losing his small business. He owns a small furniture shop that he and his wife run. And him and his wife do not qualify for the stimulus bill because they do not have employees. They run it themselves. It's a small shop. And he said, Gretchen, I don't know what to do. He said, we're barely, making ends meet. I'm struggling to pay my bills. I've had to shut my shop down because we're not considered essential. And that's where we can get into a whole other discussion. Is who is deciding what's essential and what's not essential. His business is essential to him and his family for survival, for their mortgage, for their paycheck, for their utilities bill, for food. So our veterans all over the country are being put in situations like this, Charles, just like every other American. But what we do is we're highlighting veterans because they served. They're the ones who's kept us with our freedoms, with everything we have and are. We wouldn't be here without our veterans and their service. So I feel like we need to make sure we're highlighting their issues, their journeys, and their stories through this coronavirus pandemic.
Oh, I think that what you're saying is something that's universally accepted and agreed upon, which is that we owe our veterans everything for the service that they provided. They put their lives and their safety at risk. In many cases, their fellow servicemen gave the supreme sacrifice. So, this is something that it should be a national effort from all sides of the political spectrum. Everyone has veterans in their family. They know veterans. They know people who have passed away who are veterans. We all have family members. So, this is an important national effort. You've talked about veterans specifically dealing with problems that the rest of us are dealing with regard to employment and losing businesses. I have people that I know who are in big trouble with their businesses right now also, who are not veterans, but who also don't qualify. But is there anything specific that we would ask our Veterans Administration to do? I know that there are problems with the veterans hospitals being exposed to these viruses. There's one right here in my own home state of Massachusetts that is making national news right now. That is the Holyoke Veterans Retirement Home, which apparently it has a serious exposure. Mm-hmm. What is the Veterans Administration doing? Are they doing a good job, and what can we do to help them?
This is just such a tough situation when it comes to that. It's complex. There's no simple solution. So I know the VA, what they've done and put in place is that they've suspended all not unessential or not, or if you have appointments coming up that are not essential or they're not life-threatening, they're making you wait because they're trying to keep the traffic, as minimal as possible throughout our VA clinics and hospitals. I completely get that, and I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to contain the virus, but at the same time, Charles, there are veterans out there that need some of these appointments, and they're being canceled time and time again. And so there's a fine balance there. And we've got some veterans with diabetes that need to be checked by their doctor, and they're saying you're going to have to hold off. And this is their only health care. This is all they have. And so when you tell these older veterans who are alone at home, don't have a big support system, don't be coming in for your health care check, they don't handle that well, especially when you got an elderly vet who served in combat, who's got PTSD, and he needs to have that reassurance to see his doctor that everything's okay, his sugar levels are okay, his blood pressure's okay, he's not going to have a heart attack or a stroke in the next week or two. That takes a mental toll on these veterans. I cannot stress that enough. We have so many veterans out there who are flipping out because the VA has decided to put these extreme measures in place. And again, on the side of the VA, I completely understand why they're trying to do that, but it just puts all of us in a precarious situation, and we're trying to monitor our veterans' health at home. I'm not a medical professional, but I'm listening to them, and my partner, she's got her PhD in public health, so she's better able to attend to them than I am. So she's trying to track as many that we have with medical issues to make sure there's nothing that's emergent that needs to be taken care of right now. Now, I will say we do have a current case we have a terminal veteran, and he has had his palliative care appointment pushed back several times because of this. That you can't do that. This man is dying. He actually needs to have a treatment plan in place to provide end-of-life care, and they have decided to hold off on that. This man doesn't have time to hold off. His cancer is not going to stop. So right. So there are cases that we're looking at where we're trying to advocate with situations like that, saying this is essential. This is care that is needed. It has to be done, or he's going to die in a camper, covered in his own filth if we don't do something.
Yeah, I mean, and the veterans hospitals are very equipped to deal with very specific problems that are unique to veterans. It's not necessarily the right thing to have them be integrated into the regular hospitals. Here in my own home state of Massachusetts, the VA in West Roxbury is particularly good. I think it's one of the best in the country, but we need to help those facilities in every way we can. I mean, it's they're doing critical work that's very unique. So, Gretchen, how can people reach your organization and get information, and then how can you help them?
Okay, so we have codavets.com. It's a website where if veterans are listening and you are in need, you can fill out a vet in need form, and we will get you into our system. We will vet you, process you through, and we'll get you the assistance that you need. Again, we act very quickly. There's no middleman. Once I raise the funds, then I'm able to push it out to the veteran directly. We do not, we don't, we're volunteers. So,
no, that's excellent.
Yeah, it's amazing. And if you want to donate, you can click that donate link button on codavets.com. We do this all through PayPal, where, the donations come in through PayPal. Then I'm able to, assist the veterans in the setting up PayPals, or a lot of them have them already. And we're able to get the money to them quickly and directly. We don't mail anything, it's just a very easy, clean transfer from us to them. So follow us on our social media at Codavets. That's where we're primarily on Twitter. We have 228,000 digital soldiers, I like to call them, who push out our message every day. If you do not have a Twitter account, I highly recommend it for Codavets alone, because I'm telling you what, you're going to see some beautiful stories, some incredible warriors out there. They are worthy. And just to even retweet and share it out into the media world, it is tremendous, because it puts our name out there and lets other veterans know we're here for you. This is veterans. I'm a veteran. This is veterans helping veterans. And that's what it's about. It's just us taking care of each other. So find us on Facebook at Codavets. We are on Instagram. We have a LinkedIn account where we assist veterans with getting jobs. If there's so many out of work right now, but if you do want to shoot me your resume, oncodevets.com, or get on one of the sites and DM me directly. You can get me your resume and I will try to help you find a job. I'll post it on our LinkedIn. We have business owners who are always scrolling through our LinkedIn, and we've been able to connect quite a few veterans with employers. So,
oh, that's amazing.
yeah, so we do a variety of things. We help homeless veterans get into apartments. We put wish lists out on social media so that the donors can pick a toaster or whatever it is that speaks to you to send to that veteran directly. And then once the veterans receive those items, we post pictures of it. So you get to see and follow the journey from the time we post that veteran in need to whatever it is that we've done for them. So it's transparent from beginning to end. And if you want to be a part of it, because our veterans are incredibly worthy and they need us during this time of great stress, we're all taking care of ourselves at home, and we're, trying to social distance at home. So it's a beautiful time to get on social media and to be a support system for the veterans. That's why we're here.
Well, if there's one thing you guys are doing right, and it's a core part of your mission, it's to get people connected through the social media. We have people who are stuck home, obviously, right now, including probably you and I, who, because of the virus. So, it's a great time to make those kinds of connections and to kind of talk with other people or communicate with other people in like situations. And that to me is it's hugely valuable. And I really appreciate that you're doing that. I'm going to post that up on the YouTube station along with your information so people can get in touch with you. Gretchen, do you want is there anything else you'd like my viewers and listeners to know?
I just want everybody out there to know that our veterans, sometimes they walk these very dark paths. And even if you just share one hope, one prayer, one word of encouragement to them while you're out in Twitter world or any of the social media platforms, it matters. It touches their hearts. You can save a life just by reaching out and saying, hey, how are you doing today, brother? I've had veterans tell me, call me, DM me and say, Gretchen, your tweet about hope saved my life. I was sitting at the table with a gun in my hand, and your words got me through those moments. Words are powerful. We need each other during this time, especially our veterans dealing with PTSD. You can be a light in their life, and it matters.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything we do matters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is to communicate with someone. I mean, some of the programs I've done in the past that I feel most proud of was when I had a medical person on or someone who conveyed some information about how to deal with a particular disease or where to go for certain things. And then I've heard that people have listened to that and heard that, and then they went ahead and did it. It's like saving a life. So here's a chance to possibly save a life by getting involved in this group and helping veterans who need help and connecting with them. So Gretchen Smith, I want to thank you very much for joining me this afternoon, and thank you for your service. It's an honor. And have a great afternoon and be careful.
Thank you.
All right.